Good day everyone, I'm currently looking into a new weapon duping glitch. It works for your weapons, your bows and your shields from what I've discovered. So right now you see a lot of weapons here already laying around. I have tried multiple times to get two weapons to dupe at the same time. I got it working for bows and weapons both once at least, but since then I haven't really been able to recreate it in that way. But I have been able to find out some more about the glitching, which I will show later on. But first of all, what is important is you hold out the weapon you want to dupe at least. Since right now I'm just gonna show it how you just dupe one weapon at least. But I believe if your timing is very quickly, you should be able to dupe two weapons at the same time. But the margin is very slim to really get it correctly. So for example, I wanna dupe this silver Lysol Reaper. I just hold it out. Make sure I stand close enough to a wall to make it able to work. Then I go here over to my shields. I drop 6 shields. It can also be 6 bows, whatever you like it to be. After dropping those 6, you drop your weapon. You just pick out any random weapon. I used to normally a weapon that isn't fused or big, so I like to use the Mighty Sonite Swords for that. We pause and unpause. Apparently I was too close to the wall. If you're too close, you're gonna see it very quickly because you hear the message pop up. So we're just gonna drop the silver Lysol again. We drop the shields. Drop this with the Sonite Swords. Now you didn't hear anything, so that means at least hopefully it should be correct right now. So we drop this and then you pick out any weapon you want. I like to pick out this one. Now you hear the arrow sound again. Apparently it didn't work this time, because if it works, you should have the 2 weapons you dropped first of all back in your inventory. So these spaces should be filled again, and you should be seeing the silver Lysol Reaper on top of this weapon. It's very similar to just the Master Swords duping. Well, the Master Sword glitch for making it able to fuse with something else. Since technically it's the same trick, but it also just works for duping weapons. So let's try again. We just pick this one again. We drop the shields. We drop our weapon. We use Mighty Sonite Sword again. No arrow sound, so that means that part goes correctly. Now you hear it. And I have these 2 weapons back in my inventory. So after that, we go over here and we see we currently have the silver Lysol Reaper on top of the silver Lionel Reaper. So what you want to do is drop this. And now instead of 1 weapon, 2 weapons drop. So you have your silver Lysol Reaper and silver Lionel Reaper. If you pick it up, you just have your weapon back that you used as the last weapon. But at the same time you get the silver Lysol Reaper 2, and you duplicated your first weapon that you dropped. The fuse glitch also works with this, and you get kinda weird results. Where if you pick up the weapon you first dropped, and have then the fused item fused on the last weapon, it will go on top of your first weapon. And I'm not sure if it goes on top of something else you fused. But this happened with this white main line of Bounder. It was just a normal Mighty Zonite sword, which I first hold. And as last weapon I used the Royal Claymore. So on the Royal Claymore I put a silver Lionel, the white maned Lionel horn. This one. And after you drop it, you see the weapon a bit glitchy. I should be able to show it. So I'm just gonna pick this one again. It's pretty easy. Also I like this weapon. And we pick out the Mighty Zonite sword again. But first the shield. Also make sure to hold the weapon like this, since it should make it a bit easier to do. It is possible to do it with the sword on your back, but I believe the margin is much smaller than to do it. So we currently have the Mighty Zonite sword as first, which isn't really a problem. So alright, that didn't work. We're too close. And let's try again. With this time the Silver Lysol Reaper again in our hands. And we switch over, no arrow sounds, and as last weapon, let's just use the Royal Claymore again. So, this didn't work this time. You really have to a very good listen to the error sounds that pops up. So like, oh, it didn't manage to drop. If it's on the third weapon, then it should be correct. But as I said earlier, you can see that with the way weapons are back in your inventory, and you have two weapons on you at the moment. So let's just. So I advise to not use something like a Royal Claymore, like a big weapon, as for the last weapon, since if you drop it, there's a big possibility like it wouldn't work with duping it. So let's try again. After I showed this, I will also go over the bows and the shields. Shields, by the way, are a bit harder than the weapons and the bows, since you need to keep holding it to make it easier for yourself. So you're gonna go back to the armor page a lot of times when you go back into the menu. Also, instead of dropping shields, you can then just use bows or weapons, like whatever you like to use. It's not too far away. Really finding the sweet spots on where you can do it, and it doesn't really matter as long as you make sure you pick up shields, or at least drop 6 items before you drop the 3 weapons, 3 bows, or 3 shields. It doesn't really matter whatever you use before that, as long as it's not materials or anything kind. So this. Alright. Yeah. Currently we have the silver reaper. So we pick out a material. For example, let's go with. That's a good one to use. Let's just go with use tech power. Let's just drop this one. Let's use this. You see the silver false reaper is kind of gone when you drop it. See the white main lino reaper? You only see the handle of it. So if you hold it, it's kind of glitched. And in the menu you now have a white main lino reaper. Like as I said, as I'm showing, it's kind of glitched out. Since it was first a silver Lysa reaper, so game is like this isn't very correct. Also, what I found out is if you drop this and we pick up this, I believe, yeah. If we switch out to a different weapon, and this just turns into the base weapon that was used before fusing anything with it. So currently I have the Royal Claymore with a white main Lionel Saberhorn, and the White Sword of the Sky that was glitched out has now turned back into the normal weapon. Right. So let's go over to how bows work. Bows work very much the same. You just hold out to make it a bit easier. We go over to the shields. We drop shields. And we drop this bow. It doesn't really matter. Whichever bow you like. And we drop this. And then it doesn't work. First try. Sure, you're not entirely against the wall. Drop this. And it's actually worked for the Royal Guardsbow and the Royal Bow. So it wasn't very clear to see, since they kind of have the same look but different colors. But yeah, now we have a bow more than we had before, basically. I already tried it out. The durability also copies over to the copy it's one, so it's not like it resets the durability or anything like that. So make sure to do it with a 0 durability weapon. And just store it, for example, in your house or any place where you can keep your weapons safe. Or just make sure, if you have a lot of them, just make sure to keep one of them so you can always dupe one again. So now we want to go over to the shields, which is, from my experience, the most tricky one. What I'm just gonna do is drop 6 bows. Doesn't matter which bows, as long as you drop 6 bows. And you drop shields, roll out, well, your second shield. Then pause, unpause. Drop the second shield. And pause, unpause. And then it didn't work this time. again. I drop 6 bows, doesn't really matter. Drop the shields. Equip the second shield. Pass impulse. Drop that one. And then you hurt. And as you can see, shields are now also kind of glitched. And then you can just drop it. And then you have 2 shields now. You have the Mighty Sonnet shield and the Royal shield. And well, you can pick this up since I don't have any more space for this. But you don't have to save reloads now for this to work, which is very nice. One thing I didn't try yet is fusing things with the shields. But I believe with the third shield, if you have an unfused shield and you fuse something to it, it doesn't really change much compared. Like, it's probably the same as with how the weapons work currently. So you're just gonna have a glitch shield. I am kind of curious now, so I am gonna try it out. Also, this is kind of the space I'm using. You can do it anywhere you want. You can do it in shrines, you can do it outside of shrines. So if you have one of those tests and you have enough weapons and such, you could just duplicate some stuff. What I'm just curious about is if we're able to use this trick to more easily duplicate items, materials, and also the materials that you can't fuse on both. So for example, the fireflies, the beetles and everything, and maybe even the fairies, since that would help really much for the speedrun strategies, especially for the fairy ones. So I'm looking forward how that's gonna go. Let's go to drop this. Make sure to drop the shield as well. And then I forgot to unpause. Also, from my experience, you can also do this without having to hold your shield, but it's much harder. So I advise just holding it and doing it this way. Also, one thing I already tried is combining line of bows together and shooting arrows to see if it shoots multiple arrows, but that doesn't work. At least from what I tried. However, you can combine the bow dupe glitch with the material dupe glitch from the bow currently. So if I dupe the bow, you can also just get an extra diamond or whatever material you want to duplicate at the time. Okay, so it worked right now. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go here and what is something? Let's just use King skill, just for an example. And oh wait, let's fuse a sonar device to it. Say for example I want cannon. I drop it. Okay. Okay, that's some That's... So... Without holding that shield, that shield's just turning into a cannon currently. Like this cannon shield, but at the same time this also a cannon shield. And yeah, as I showed with the weapon, if you go over to a different weapon and then hold this weapon just becomes a cannon shield. But that's everything what I find out with the dupe glitch at the moment. It works on the newest version. I'm on version 1.1.1, so it should work for everyone, I believe. I'm not sure about the previous versions, but this version works. Thank you for watching, and I'm hoping to find even more things to share with you guys.